looks a good crowd on for the first game of the season.
It sure does, and you know, it looks a very exciting crowd out here today. And as the teams come out now, you probably can hear the noise.
Well, you'll be hearing from Dean throughout this course of the game. He'll be interjecting with his comments. And Phil Kaplan, who's also with us today. Just special atmosphere at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it's like the first day back at school, and everybody looking forward to it. It looked as though the rain might keep a few away, but in the last few minutes the colours returned to the terraces. A few have come over from Wilderspool, and the Warrington team in their new New Zealand-like black kit are here, which will no doubt appeal to Dean. Hopefully he won't be shouting for them. And Leeds about to take their bow for Super League 3.
Well, all I can say about that one, Phil, is you must have gone to a different school to me, because I hated the first day back. I hated the last day there and the first day back.
No, it was always exciting whether you liked it or hated it. I'll tell you if we like it or hate it come 4:45.
Well, here come the Rhinos coming out now, led by Yestin Harris, the mascots for today. A very important game as we approach the start of Super League. And Dean, just before we kick off there, Academy had a good, hard-fought win.
Yes, it was, and you know, the guys showed a lot of character. We've got a very thin squad at the moment until our new arrivals come on May the 1st. We had a couple of injuries going into the game, so I had to call on 4 amateur players, and they come in, did a tremendous job for us. We're up against it 12-6 down, but the boys really pulled it out of the fire, and as a lot of the crowd's seen, it was a very exciting game.
Okay, 24 points to 18 then, the Leeds Academy getting their season off as champions should with a winning start. And let's hope that the Rhinos can have a winning start today. Got the flag wavers coming off the pitch, the mascots over again in the south stand. It's all set up for an absolute big game, and it's going to be Warrington to kick off. They're playing towards the pavilion end of the ground. That means they've got their back to the scoreboard, and Leeds will be receiving the ball straight from the kick-off. It's just a couple of minutes after 3 o'clock. As usual nowadays, we never seem to get any games underway on time, but Leeds will be looking for a big start to the season. Important game.
Important that Leeds don't fall into the trap they did 2 years ago when Warrington were the visitors and stole the game.
Yes, that's right, and remember that try in the corner that was deemed to push over the flag, and it's disappointing that day. But, Matt Glanville now taking the ball up and just settling things down. Leeds will not be looking to do anything stupid. Terry Newton cleverly distributing the ball from dummy half. Finds Marcella now. Kemp distributing well out there, out to Sheridan. Sheridan running at the defence, so Leeds have an opening straight away. Brad Gordon, good tackle coming across there on the far side for Warrington. Look to the last tackle, Leeds almost up to the halfway line. Newton will put that back there, forward pass there, and Leeds caught a bit napping there, unaware of it was a 6th tackle, I think, Dean.
That's right, Stuart. I mean, they played out a good set of 6. Obviously, Warrington's defence was up for that set, and Adrian Morley took them to their own 10-yard line, and then Terry Newton forgot it was the last tackle and put out a very poor pass.
So Warrington moving the ball. Danny Farrer moves it now. That's Mike Wainwright, one to watch with his ball handling skills, always likely to get the ball away in the tackle. Saying not. So Warrington just centre field on the Leeds 20 metres. Farrer puts a little kick in, that comes off a Leeds player. And Mark Glanville, I think, will pick that up. And that's play on, says the referee. That came off Mark Glanville.
Again, Mark Glanville the first to react there. Little chip through early in the tackle count from Danny Farrer, but Leeds fortunate ricochet. Mark Glanville picked up the ball. High tackle from Adam Fogarty, the referee says, on the shoulder of Brad Godden. Welcome to Super League.
Fleary, that's good driving from Darren Fleary. Takes play into for the first time into Warrington territory. Newton moves the ball towards the main stand side. Martin Marcella bringing the ball down. That's a head-high tackle, and proving straight away, Steve Presley, that he's having none of the head-high tackles. Warrington got away with it, and who should it be but Brendan Tutor? And we can go down onto the bench now. Bob Pickles down on the bench. Good start to the game for Leeds.
Yeah, it's a good start. It's just that Tilly just doesn't seem to settle in when he gives that pass up there. I don't think he was counting his tackles, but other than that, we're going well.
Fladen driving the ball forward. Newton again at dummy half. Big game for Terry Newton today. Sheridan just drops off short there for Martin Marcella, who's pushed back. Good defence from Farrer. Newton again this time. Finds Kemp. Kemp with the short balls. Kemp's running across the face. Brings on a move. Brings Adrian Morley back on the inside, and well spotted there by Warrington. That was a move I saw Leeds rehearsing at training yesterday morning. Glanville again. Just takes the ball up, no nonsense fashion, straight up. So Leeds right under the Warrington post. 15 metres from that line now. Kemp bringing the ball out to his right there. Finds Blackmore. Blackmore strong, but pulled in a touch. And Leeds moving the ball about in some style, Dean.
Yeah, that's right. I think they've started very well. Obviously, you've got to give some credit to the defence there. A lovely ball out from Tony Kemp to Richie Blackmore. But I think it's Coe Love read the situation really well and managed to take care of it.
And what do you know about this Coe Love? He's a New Zealander, Dean.
Yeah, he had come over with a big reputation. Had a great first season, but since then has been hindered by a lot of injuries. I think his main one has been a shoulder problem. So this would be one of his first games back.
So Breers moves the ball from dummy half. Warrington winning the scrum. Good defence from Leeds. Newton involved there with Blackmore. And a good test of the Leeds defence now. Can they keep Warrington penned down here? Wainwright comes in the left centre spot, but again, but Leeds give away the penalty. Sterling and Marcella deemed to have just hung on a little bit too long there, keeping Mike Wainwright down on the floor.
It's giving Warrington cheap access out of their own quarter, and that was something that Graham Murray was particularly concerned about in the cup tie against Castleford. Don't give the opposition easy yardage out their own quarter.
So Warrington then have the luxury of a tap, 10 metres inside the Leeds half. And immediately the Warrington player losing the football. That's the number 8, Adam Fogarty, straight from Emmerdale Farm. Morley just taking the ball forward, nothing on there when he got that ball, gets it back to Newton. Newton in support, as all good hookers should be. Looks to go himself to the Newton to catch a high one. You can hear the boos from the south stand crowd. Newton plays the ball. Godden distributing at dummy half, finds Fleary. Fleary driving up towards halfway. And Newton again just complaining that the was held down a little bit too long. Kemp's put the kick in and Sterling's chasing. Spotted at the wingers out there. That's good running from Sterling now. Has Penny got the pace? Penny has, and he puts the ball in. Enterprising play from Kemp, Dean.
Yes, that's right. Tony really summed up the situation very well. Seen that the winger was quite a ways infield, and just got the message out to Paul Sterling. And it was very much a run to win the ball, and obviously the fullback did very well to cover it.
Interesting again there early on the tackle count. Leeds trying to move, not frightened to try things. That was from the halfway line when Tony Kemp put the kick over, and Paul Sterling a toenail away from getting to there first.
And Harris just with ball coming out of the scrum. Glanville picking the ball up from the loose forward's feet, and Harris chiming into the line. Sheridan had moved out to make the extra man, but the Warrington defence it up quickly. And that's Faddle just driving. Leeds within 3 metres of the Warrington line now. Just to the right of the post, that's nearest to the north stand side. Kemp now underneath the push, moves the ball. Fleary just powers his way forward. Again, just takes that ball another metre or so forward. And
Warrington short on the blind side.
Bit of a bad option there, but this could work out well because Blackmore's going through, and Blackmore's in for the first try of the season as far as Leeds are concerned, and he comes in and makes the angle short. Great try, Dean Bell.
That's right. A little bit of confusion there at dummy half for Mark Glanville, but he was aware enough to spot where Tony Kemp was. Tony Kemp had come across to the blind, and Tony sent out a very simple pass to Richie Blackmore, and he did the rest by crashing over for a good try.
It's a good start then for the Rhinos, just what we want there. 7 minutes on the clock, and Leeds 4-0 up already.
And due reward there for Tony Kemp's kick. Lee Penny, of course, had to cover across to put that ball into touch. Gave Leeds the head and the feed, and moving the ball over onto the Leeds left-hand side. There was shortage of numbers in the Warrington cover defence. Blackmore strolled through.
Yes, it's a combination that's worked very well at various parts of the world, and no reason why it shouldn't work very well at Headingley. And we just go down and join Bob Pickles as Yestin Harris is working up for the kick. Bob, clever play there, and really a try on ever since the kick from Kemp that put Warrington under pressure.
Yeah, that was good thinking from Tony. It's nice to see we're trying something early doors. And the thing about the game so far, I think there's only Francis Cummings in the Leeds team that hasn't touched the ball yet. So we're keeping the ball alive, and that's good to see.
It's Bob Pickles on the Leeds bench. He'll be talking to us throughout the course of the game. Yestin's kick comes up, and it's straight through the middle. So that's Leeds 6, Warrington 0.
Hi, this is Richie Blackmore. You're listening to Radio Rhino on 1404 AM.
Richie Blackmore. Remember, you get all the plaudits on Radio Rhino. So Yestin Harris sends a kick-off, and that's a great start for the Rhinos. And just showing what can be done with some enterprising play there from Kemp and Leeds, proving they're not frightened of showing things early in the tackle count.
Again, that was something that Graham Murray stressed when he arrived here, that he was going to play an expansive brand of football, and certainly if the first 7 or 8 minutes or anything to go by. Oh, Warrington, nightmare knock-on from the kick-off.
Yes, absolute nightmare there, and Danny Nutley was involved, and couldn't quite see who the other player was, but
I think it was Lee Penny coming across trying to take it.
But nobody called there, Dean.
Oh, just a schoolboy error. I mean, Darryl van der Velde will be pulling his hair out if he's got anything left.
Yes, and Ryan Sheridan then gives Leeds head and feet at the scrum. He's just gone and got the ball, and that gives Leeds a great opportunity to attack again. Kemp with the ball in his hands now, drops off inside for Blackmore again. Sheridan, that's good play. Oh, Sheridan's out through. Well, Ryan Sheridan, it's taken a long time for him to run at the defence. For the first time he's done it. Great try, Dean Bell.
Yes, that's right. It all come from the Warrington mistake, but a great set move from the scrum. Just open up for Ryan Sheridan. They had a number of options, but Ryan Sheridan showed terrific pace to go around by the post.
Magic performance there from Ryan Sheridan. It's one thing that we've wanted him to do since he came to the club, was run at the defence. He's so good when he commits players to him. He's got the pace and the ability to make his way through, and great start for the Rhinos, Phil.
Yeah, again, it was something that we were saying early on about what sort of a season was it going to be for Leeds, and we said that really Leeds have got to show a killer instinct there. Warrington made a dreadful mistake from the kick-off, and Leeds punished them within one tackle. Superb ball held up at the base of the scrum. Sheridan on the run around after the put-in was the late man linking from the back, and his pace took him away from the Warrington cover, straight over behind the post, and it is a dream start.
Absolutely. And we just see Iestyn Harris see if he can tag on the goal, give Leeds a 12 points to 0 start, which is just the one that they will have wanted. What a great start to the Super League so far for the Rhinos. Just 10 minutes or so gone on the clock, and Leeds managed to get over that try from Ryan Sheridan. So Harris successfully converts straight through the middle. Leeds 12, Warrington 0.
14:04 a.m.
So Leeds will look to kick off again, and I don't think they can expect such a gift as they got from the last kick-off, but we're looking to keep Warrington penned down there. We've yet to see a test of the Rhinos' defence, really. It'd be great to see 6 tackles without a penalty being awarded, and Leeds could keep Warrington down here so that they're kicking from around about the 35-metre mark. Phil, that'd be a good start for the Rhinos.
That's the one thing that we were saying, is the first 20 minutes, if we can keep Warrington down in their quarter, then the confidence will ebb away slightly. But the game's only 10 minutes old. It counts for nothing at the moment, but we'd have taken a 12-0 start at the kick-off.
Warrington quickly playing the ball. It's good driving out there, and Fogarty again comes in. Good tackling though. Kemp's in quickly, as is Anthony Farrell. Warrington Tutor now looking to make progress down the middle of the field. Masella wraps him up round the way, stops him getting the ball out in the tackle. Farrell moves the ball to his right towards the south stand side. Ian Knott.
And Leeds have got to be wary of not dropping off their game, because they've had such a dream start. The defence has got to remain solid, particularly allowing Warrington space off the ruck.
Oh, good play there, and Warrington are here now. That's good play, but Newton gets back and tackles well over on that far side up to the last tackle, but Warrington have made progress. That was Danny Farrar supporting. Little chip kick comes through there, and will Leeds react quick enough there? They do indeed. Paul Sterling it is who kicks the ball out, and will drop out under the post.
Yeah, that's always a problem after that kind of start, as Phil mentioned. You tend to sort of rest on your laurels and think that the good start is going to carry you through. But as we know in Super League these days, the game changes so quickly. So just go in there. Warrington came very close to scoring. Brad Godden coming off the centre there and just allowed his man to get on the outside of him. So they've just got to be very wary at the moment.
Iestyn Harris then to drop the ball out from under the post. Right out on the touchline side, that's a good drop out, but Jason Roach, former Castleford Saints winger, will run the ball back. It's 37 metres from the Leeds line, bringing the ball back towards the centre of the field. Good driving up there from Danny Nutley, the number 15. It's his error that led to the Leeds second try. Fogarty going through there, and Penny's put the ball down. Looked to suspicion of a forward pass. I think the referee will give the knock on. But,
the ball, that's probably bad play from Lee Penny, allowing the ball to run dead there, because he's handed the initiative over to Leeds with a tap on their own quarter-way line. Again, though, the danger of Fogarty, a big man, slipping the ball in the tackle. Got to be wary of tying them up.
Masella driving forward. Now it's Morley's turn. Big things expected this season of Adrian Morley. Up against his brother today, for the first time since his brother's transfer from Saints. Kemp gets the ball, not a good pass, but just takes play up, just to settle it down. Not really anything he could do there. It wasn't the best pass to the arms there. Newton finds Masella again for the second time in the set of 6. He drives forward.
Kemp and Tutor reintroducing themselves to each other there.
Yes, and that's for Des Harris then. goes from dummy half, just taking play forward. Leeds not doing anything spectacular. Look now with Kemp to put the kick in. He really is a master kicker, is Tony Kemp. That's a great kick. That's right down into the corner. Penny's chasing, and there's some obstruction there, but eventually Sterling and Blackmore. Dean Bell, great kick.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Leeds are playing with a lot of control at the moment. When things aren't on, they're just taking the play, the balls, quick play, the balls, getting on a roll. And now they've just got to back it up with some good defence.
Yes, it was a lovely kick from Kemp, and just what we didn't see in the Huddersfield-Bradford game on Friday night. It was a poor kicking game from Huddersfield, who kick for touch all the time to slow the game down, but it just gives the big Bradford pack a rest, whereas Leeds are making Warrington work out of their own quarter here. That's 4 tackles gone, 5 actually if you count the extra tackle, and Warrington still within 30 metres of their own line. And again, good defence on Danny Nutley over on that far side.
Yeah, that's a great set of 6. You got Warrington kicking from their own 30-metre line. So Francis Cummins receives that on his own 20, and it's good field position straight away.
Cummins stepping out of a couple of tackles there, and Fogarty gets him. Actually, Adam Fogarty was on the floor, not involved in the tackle, and Cummins just stumbled into him. That's good play. Blackmore again now, looking to power his way forward. Richie Blackmore can't get the ball away. Kemp's inside him. Gets Sterling away on the outside, and Sterling just taking play back into the middle of the field, but Leeds playing with a lot of conviction and a lot of purpose at the moment. Their tails are up, and Anthony Farrell, he'll do the simple things all day. He'll drive that ball forward, take play up. Newton then finds Marcella. Marcella just driving again forward. Leeds looking for the position to exploit some football. They've got the ball now. They're 25 metres from that line as Glanville now puts up Morley onto the burst into the 20 metres. 4 tackles gone.
And a good 4 tackles from Leeds, a good 50-60 metres gained already.
Finds Kemp. Kemp sets out to Blackmore. Blackmore's put the ball down, and the referee will blow for the knock-on. And just I should imagine, Dean, with the rain that we've had, a little bit greasy out there.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's dried up fairly well now, but you know, Richie had every right to take that ball, but it just took his eye off at the last minute.
Bob, you must be impressed down on the Leeds bench there with the start that Leeds have made.
Yeah, you're just saying that ball burst then, so that might be a problem why he dropped it. We just have to change the ball on the field. But yeah, I'm impressed, very impressed. We look a powerful team today when we're going forward.
Yes, and got some big lads in the pack, and Mark Glanville's come out of the pack now to go to the standoff position, which is a new one. He'll be just making sure that Lee Penny feels the full weight of his tackle. Bryars gets the ball away, though, after Penny had got the ball away. And Warrington, good defence eventually there from Leeds. That's not a good option there from Yeston Harris, interfering to play the ball. The referee allowed it to go. And Warrington again looking to drive the ball away with their number 11, Ian Knott.
Certainly Leeds seem eager to get into the tackle, and penning Warrington down again and not making anything over the advantage line in this set of 6.
Some big defence there from Darren Fleary on Adam Fogarty. That was a great tackle, and Fogarty not relishing that. Tuta puts the ball out to Forster. Forster looks to get round his man, but there's 3 Leeds men in at the tackle there, and Kemp just hovering in case. That's good defence from the Rhinos. Last tackle, and again Warrington kicking from the 30-metre mark, and that gives Leeds an untold advantage. And again Warrington forced to put the ball into the scrum to have a rest, I think, Dean.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they're under pressure at the moment, but you've got to give a lot of credit to the Leeds defence there. That's the second set of 6 that Warrington have come away from their own line. Have only made 30 metres, so credit to the Leeds side at the moment.
Yes, good play there from the Rhinos, and you can just see the scrum forming. It's on the 30-metre mark, just in front of the north stand. Leeds 30-metre mark, that is. And the Leeds team resplendent in the lime green tops. That's the support team on the field. As Sheridan whips the ball out of the scrum. Leeds third hidden ball. 3-1 the scrums to the Rhinos, and 1-0 the penalties in favour of the Wolves. So Glanville just driving forward, looks to step through his man. Can't do that, it was Mike Wainwright. He brings him down. Bit of help from Ian Knott. Farrell running out wide. But that, again, that's good, great defence there from Warrington. They've had 2 or 3 tackles, kept Leeds penned in their own half of the field.
I've been impressed with Mike Wainwright. He looks bigger and stronger than we've seen him, and he's made a lot of telling tackles so far.
Yes, always had the ability, just lacked, I think, the stature at some time in his career, but always could be relied on to get the ball away in the trickiest situations. Oh, lovely play there, and Sheridan's away again now. Can't get the ball back to Harris, but Anthony Newton comes up there in support. Good play from Leeds, passing the ball around the man to Newton. And Newton's tackled now 30 metres from that Warrington line, and Kemp will look to put the kick in, will he? Just puts the kick in. Sterling's chasing. He's onside. In fact, the referee says he's onside. That ball just going into touch. It'd be interesting to see whether a Warrington player made a play for that. The referee's coming over. And how did you see that, Dean?
Yeah, I think they both went for the ball. They both missed it. And if it did hit the Warrington player, it was unintentional anyway. So it should be Warrington's ball.
And it is Warrington's ball. The ball just bouncing into touch 10 metres from the Warrington try line, right down in the far corner.
Yes, Adrian Morley looks so dangerous. Every time he's touched the ball so far in this half, he's created something, and he just sent out a beautiful pass there behind the opposition defender, and you know, Leeds nearly scored from it.
As he really has developed considerably since his days in the academy. Established international now. Leeds giving a penalty away. Darren Fleary adjudged to be the guilty party, and that spoiled a bit of good work in the last few minutes from Leeds. Lee Penny struggling to get the pass away. Eventually the ball came flying out, and the referee saying that Fleary's interference had caused that.
Leeds looking strong with their close support play up the middle, which is not a feature of the game that we've often seen from them. And again, that's where the power of Adrian Morley. But Tony Kemp, just off the fringe of that, is definitely running the show at the moment. He's back to his best.
Oh, and a missed tackle there on Fogarty from Terry Newton allows the big man to get up to halfway, as Warrington looking now to power forward with Wainwright. Lovely ball. Blackmore bringing the man down. It's number 3. There's Mike Eager. Farrer then in at dummy half. Leeds need to settle it down and not do anything untoward here. That's good defence. Getting the ball away though, Warrington, but great coming in there. That's Terry Newton read that situation well, as Warrington put the ball out of the back door as they were turning the tackle. Good defence again, Newton, and we're up to the last tackle. That's great play, and Leeds need to settle that down now.
The game's going to become a little bit more of a lottery now in the rain, and here's Francis Cummins making a break.
The rain starting to fall, which is won't make for an open game. Leeds get their 6 tackles going now, with Sterling coming away and 3 men in, bringing him down. That's what you'd expect if you run in those areas of the field. Paul Sterling just off the fringe of the ruck.
That was a Warrington hand there from Lee Breers. That should be back to 1.
Should be back to 6 more tackles. The referee's not allowed that, and he's got his. In fact, he does wipe it clean now, as Darren Fleary brings it forward. The Leeds need to just settle things now, not do anything stupid, and somebody who you can rely on not to will be Martin Masella, who's just driven the ball forward and makes an extra couple of metres as he's Fogarty slips off the tackle. Tudor brings him down. Sheridan slipped there as he went underneath the defenders. Harris, Morley again. Morley, as Dean said, looking absolutely tremendously dangerous every time he gets the ball. What a lovely pass there to the supporting Brad Gordon. And Harris goes himself from dummy half. He'd love a try again today to go with the one he scored against them last year. The rain absolutely siling down now. Well picked up there. Kemp now has got the football. Puts a little kick up again. Sterling's chasing. Everyone's onside. Oh, and Sterling just misses the football there. Got a try. I think he's going to give the knock on. And that was a fair decision, Dean Bell.
Yeah, I think so. You know, Paul Sterling had a free chance at catching that ball, and you know, if he had done, it would have been a certain try. But the ball was knocked forward before it went back, and Mark Danville thought he'd scored in the corner.
Well, the rain incessantly falling now. It's dampened the spirits of this fairly sized Headingley crowd for the first match of the season on a terrible day.
That's 3 times now that Tony Kemp's launched Paul Sterling down that right-hand side, and every time he's getting closer and closer to getting a try. Only a matter of time.
Yeah, that's right. Mark Forster, you know, doesn't look too comfortable under those bombs, so it's probably something they'll persist in doing.
Some big defence coming in there from Darren Fleary.
Mark Glanville again.
That's good defence from Not, though, by Richie Blackmore. And Farrer moves the ball through the arms of Briers, and Wainwright in the middle of the field. Poor pass, but it's well picked up. How often we see a poor pass which opens a gap better than a good one? That didn't that time, but it does happen. It's a feature of the game.
Didn't work for Danny Rubin in the media day 7s, though.
Certainly didn't. And Francis Cummins picks the ball up right back near his own line, on the bounce, runs out, steps, looks to go past the first men, but couldn't do that. Justin Harris is in quickly at dummy half, moves the ball, nothing fancy. Sheridan out to Blackmore. Blackmore always looking for a way through, and really is such a big, strong, powerful man. Glanville again, coming out wide here, running. Just, again, he'll run all day in those positions where he just takes the ball up. Fleary. I've no doubt Leeds will be looking to introduce Jamie Matthew at some stage. We've been playing about 22 minutes now, and Marcella just drives forward, gets the ball back to Harris, but Harris is police there, gets it away to Newton though. Newton spots a gap, goes himself, gets the ball back to Sheridan. Oh, Sheridan's put it down. It was a bit adventurous play there, Leeds a bit over eagerness, I think, Dean.
Yeah, that's right. I think they really needed to settle it down. They were throwing the ball around a bit too much, but they weren't really going forward, so it just needed someone to take control and just get a quick play of the ball.
For Warrington, Farah in at dummy half, moves the ball for Fogarty up the middle of the field. Nothing about Adam Fogarty, tends to run straight up and down the middle of the park. So one of these put forwards who looks to take advantage of the backs. Players. Ball's out to number 3, Mike Eager. Replacing Roper today. Again, here not just tackled there by Fleary and Newton on the Leeds 20-metre mark. Warrington, this is as good a position as they've been in with the football in hands for some time. Kicks put through. It's absolute nothing sort of a kick, as Graham Murray would describe it, a water pistol kick. It created nothing, didn't give anyone a chance. Gordon's got the ball out wide and beats the first man up to the 20 metres. Harris did well there, just picked up the ball, mopped up at the back. And Morley again, just powering forward, really is a big man and takes some stopping. Kemp will run forward at the defence. Offloads, great ball to Newton. Newton, Sterling, and Sterling's away. That's good play. Sterling caught just in his own half again by Adam Fogarty, but he's not tackled, said the referee. But he is this time as Lee Penny brings him down, but he's made a good 20 metres, 25 metres there. Looks like Marcella's coming off to be replaced by Matthew. Oh, that was a high tackle. The referee's going to pull somebody for that. And it was across the face, but I don't think there was anything nasty in that, but it'll give Leeds a kick at goal, and Yestin Harris will gleefully take that, Dean, in front of the sticks. Yeah, that's right. I mean, it was a poor attempt at tackle by Lee Penny. Ryan Sheridan has skirted across the ruck and turned the ball back inside to Farrell, I think it was. But, I mean, that set of 6 and 4 tackles, they'd moved the ball about 80 yards, so you can imagine that Graham Murray must be very pleased with the go forward at the moment. Yes, and this kick is right in front of the post. It's 22 metres back from the goal line, from the try line, and should be meat and drink to someone of Yestin Harris's capabilities. Incidentally, that's Leeds' first penalty of the game. The penalty's currently standing at 2-1, scrum's 3-2. But good enterprising stuff by Leeds, and again Adrian Morley really does drive the ball forward and drive it hard. So Harris then to put Leeds 14-0 up. Dream start for the Rhinos.
And the nil is just as important as the 14 at this stage early on in the season. Certainly Leeds have looked a lot quicker on attack, but they've looked quite strong on defence, and Warrington resorting just to that innocuous grubber through from Brendan Tutor.
Getting from a water pistol kick. Lee Penny just looking at the touch judges. I don't know why, there was never any doubt that was going over.
First half, we've just got to hang in there now. It's going to be important 10-15 minutes going up to half time.
Both teams made a change at prop after that penalty went over. Jamie Matthew coming on for Martin Marcella, and Adam Fogarty gone up, replaced by Gary Chambers.
Well, Warrington won't lose on that because Gary Chambers is an excellent replacement. And there goes the bugle for the Rhinos to charge forward. And if we can just go down to Bob Pickles on the bench, Bob Graham Murray must be delighted with the start that Leeds have made at the moment.
Yeah, certainly delighted, and it's good to see that quite a lot of these moves that are on the training ground are coming off today, so all the hard work they're putting in through the week's paying off.
Yes, a great play from Adrian Morley leading up to that try, but Warrington now up to halfway from the kick-off with Wainwright, gets the ball back to Farrer, who wasn't really expecting it. And number 19, Jason Roach in the middle of the field looking for a way forward. That looked a forward pass from to Ian Knott. And I think Lee Briers is looking to put the bomb up, and Paul Sterling's not watching, but if he was, he would see that Briers is signalling his intention straight away. High kick, Yestin Harris is underneath, takes the ball over his own in goal line, and a tap on that 25 metres, on the 20 metres. And
poor kick there from Lee Briers, didn't put Yestin Harris under any pressure, allowed him to catch it in the in-goal area, diffused the situation easily, and as you say, everything coming up for Leeds at the moment as Francis Cummins breaks away from the tap on the 22.
That's a penalty, not holding down, and that was a fair penalty, Dean.
Yeah, that's right. A good half break there from Francis Cummins, try to get a quick play of the ball, and just someone trying to hold him down. But as Phil mentioned, it was a poor kick by Briers, but it still had to be taken, and the ball is a little bit greasy with the wet, with the rain that we've had on the last 5-10 minutes.
So Fleary just had to check as he picked up the football as Leeds moving it forward. Did well to get the penalty, and they're now up to 30 metres from the Warrington line. Warrington slowing the game down as best they can. Kemp again, looking good now. Switches ball inside for Morley. Morley's put it down. It can't get to kill the ball. And, it's a little bit greasy, and inside ball just... The man came at the same time as the ball there, and Morley just took his eye off it, and down on the floor it went. Some days they stick, but not today. And Adam Doyle will stand off. We've seen little of him so far. It's always a dodgy thing to say, but no, Graham Murray has signalled him out as being danger. That's back to the Warrington player lost the ball. It did go behind, and Warrington were first to react. They've got the football. Briar's looking for a way through. No way through there. Straight into Anthony Faddle. That's not the thing you want to do on a Sunday afternoon in April.
And one thing Leeds have done well so far is keep Lee Briers pretty quiet, because he can be very dangerous. Tudor
steps the tackle there of Faddle. Oh, and that was poor play, and Morley's picked it up now. He's away down the middle of the field now. Will he have the legs, Adrian Morley? He really ought to go, Adrian Morley. Jason Roach is coming across to tackle him. Has he got the legs to slide over? That's going to be a try, is it? Just tell the meter short. Brad Godden's in at dummy half. Finds Glanville. Warrington all offside there at the far side. And really, it should be a strolling in the corner for Francis Cummins. That's a try, is it? The referee's not going to give it. Said that Cummins bounced the football, and a lead off there for Warrington. That should have been a try to Leeds.
That's right. Adrian Morley, terrific break down the centre of the field. I think it was Roach that just stopped and must have been inches from the try line. Quick hands out to Francis Cummins. Just couldn't quite make it in the corner and bounced the ball.
So Leeds looking again to increase that lead. That was 12-0, 14-0. We've now been playing exactly half an hour, and Warrington not really had a sniff at the Leeds try line. So a lead off there for the Wire, or the Wolves as they're now known. And again, Faddle just dropping down. That's Ian Knott bringing the ball away. Well, at one time Ian Knott was being offered round the clubs as a potential buy, and nobody took Warrington up on it. He was a bright young forward when he first came into the team, Academy International, of course.
And one thing he isn't, though, is Adrian Morley, and that was a sensational break, 50 metres by a second rower, outpaced virtually all the Warrington backs.
Tutor puts a little grubber kick in. And Roach picks that ball up to the last tackle now. That hit the man rather than the man playing the football. And kick comes in from Adam Doyle. And Yeston is perfectly placed, picks it up one-handed. Dangerous in this sort of weather, but drops off for Sterling. Sterling across the face of the Leeds post up, dropped on the floor, and eventually runs into the back of Mark Glanville as he's attempting to get back to his feet and carry on. 6 tackles to go, says the referee, and Yeston Harris just bringing the ball down. Tipped over on his back. Blackmore then in at dummy half. We'll just drive forward and we'll look to use his physical bulk to get through, and manages to do that. Nobody really in the right place to support him there. Didn't expect him, I don't think, to make that gap. As Newton finds Matthew. And Warrington all offside as the crowd, somebody shouted in the crowd, and he's dead right. Glanville finds Faddle, that's back to Fleary. And Fleary's away, that's great pace. Oh, just ankle tap there, and he's lost the football on the wet, greasy service, but Darren Fleary showing a good turn of pace. And Warrington away, coming up that far side with number 14. Toa Coelho, great defence from Leeds. Over on the far side, that's Adrian Morley, would you believe, getting over there to make the tackle.
That's right, Adrian Morley. It was payback time. Jason Roach had a fairly clear run to the line. Adrian Morley come across in cover and done a terrific tackle.
So Warrington now with a chance. They are in the Leeds quarter. Good question to ask now, the Leeds defence. As Briers at dummy half finds Farah. Farah, that ball out there. And Warrington get the ball out in the corner. Blackmore and Sterling, have they got him into touch? They haven't. They've knocked him down. And Warrington still have a chance there with Tudor. Walloped. I think there is the right word to describe it. Not played the football correctly there, Brendan Tudor. And I'm sure it was a mistake, Dean, but in those things you've just got to get on with it. It's a penalty to Leeds.
That's right. Brendan Tudor made an absolute mess of the play of the ball, and referee rightly penalised him.
He's just played the ball forward. He didn't intend to, but that's the way it went, and that's the deal that you get now. Tony Kemp just explaining what he wants to do.
Good lead scrambling defence again there. Great tackle by Richie Blackmore on Mark Forster. And it seems to me as though Leeds are in control in most facets of the game at the moment.
Yeah, I think Leeds just got to settle the game down a bit now. Warrington have just shown a little bit of initiative of late. Obviously, they're desperate for points. So I think if Leeds can play out this set of 6 and put the ball into the corner and just back up with some good defence like they've been showing.
Yes, the defence has certainly been good this afternoon. Glanville then just... You can rely on Mark Glanville to settle any play down. He's got the experience, the old head on his shoulders, knows just what he wants to do. Brad Godden played well on his debut this afternoon. Godden, nothing's got past him. He's interjected himself usefully at times, as has this man, Adrian Morley, straight onto halfway. Fleary knocks the ball. That's going to be a knock-on. I think he's a bit harsh there, the referee.
No, I think, it probably was a knock-on looking at it, but, it's just what they didn't need. They've turned the ball over inside their own half. And as I say, they just need to settle the game down a bit now. And it's not as though they're chasing points at the moment. They are in control, and they've just got to play that way.
Yes, it's coming up to half-time. There's about 5 minutes left on the clock. And really, Leeds would need to commit suicide to let Warrington get in just before half-time. Bryers then works the feed from the scrum. 3 each now, the scrums. Great defence from Kemp. And Glanville on Lee Penny, who's felt that one. Wainwright dropping off inside.
I felt
there.
that one, and I was 50 yards away from it.
And eager, he's very eager to get in the action. Tooted again, moving into that dummy half slot, which he can do quite well because Tooted, of course, has played a lot of games at hooker. Moves himself forward. Good defence from his opposite number, Teddy Newton.
Warrington bringing on Steve McCurry.
Bryers, not a good pass though. The man was there, the ball. It was close to the line, but it was so telegraphed, it was obvious what was going to happen. And now Bryers will move the ball out to Farah. Farah assuming a role in the middle of the field. McCurry puts a little grubber kick in. Glanville picks up for Leeds. He's lost the football. And that's going to be back to 6 more tackles, I think, for Warrington. Well, Glanville couldn't take the ball. It was enterprising play from him. He got in the way of the kick and he just couldn't take the ball as the tackle came in. It spilled out. Jason Roach looking to go forward. Good defence though from Fleary again. Over on the far side. Fleary and Farrell. Drop off ball for Steve McCurry. He's strong and near the line. He'll take a handful of stopping. Warrington again now with Bryers. Bryers looking to step and go himself. He's looking to get the ball away. He does. That's good play. But again, good defence from Leeds. A good test of the Rhinos' defences. Warrington have got the penalty. Leeds, Kemp adjudged to have interfered too long. And what will Warrington do? Well, they should take the kick at goal, and they will do. Sensible option, Dean?
No, not really. I actually would have kept Leeds under a bit of pressure. They were stretched at that time. It's okay to get points on the board, but I don't think 2 points is going to do them too much at the moment.
Latest score from Wembley Stadium, the 5 Nations, France 0, France 29, Wales 0.
René Ruben just making a pig's ear of the international score from the 5 Nations. Not that anybody's is interested. And who's going to kick the ball? Lee Bryers, I think, will look to bring 2 points back for Warrington as we approach half-time. But they've really struggled, Warrington. Just in the last few minutes they've come into the game, aided, I think, more by Leeds' mistakes than their own enterprising play. Leeds have put the ball down on a couple of occasions, given away a penalty. And they see Lee Bryers about to make it 14 points to 2. With about 3 minutes left in this first half.
If he's fit, Steve McCurry will make a difference in terms of getting the ball wide and distribution. But Bryers gets Warrington on the board. 14-2 approaching half-time.
Just 37 minutes on the clock and Warrington's first points posted. Oh, Warrington will kick off, just giving the ball back to Bryers, and the touchline Leeds lined up for the kick. And Leeds have made only the one substitution, which is Jamie Matthew from Martin Mazzella. Tony Kemp fields the ball. Anthony Farrell just powering his way forward. Picked up and knocked to the floor there, and almost spear type tackle, but they didn't have their hand between the legs. It wasn't a spear tackle. Glanville running forward. Tackle now by McCurry. And Leeds using the options while they're there, running the angle well. Jamie Matthew came back on the outside and then running back on the inside. Warrington waiting for the play to go to the open side. So Kemp again now. It's a long ball out there to Sheridan. Sheridan running at the defence. Gets Harris into his stride, but Harris slipped as the Warrington defence approach there. And it's the greasy conditions not helping things out there. Brad Godden then.
Ryan Sheridan seemed to be playing a lot wider under Graham Murray. Kemp's long ball's always finding Sheridan out wide.
Kemp puts the kick in. That's another kick over the top there. And this time it will go into touch. and a sensible option this time, Dean, so close to half-time.
Yeah, certainly. I think that's what Leeds have been looking for in the last 10 minutes, just to play out a set, and a lovely kick into the corner there. And I think, you know, it's only a matter of seconds now before the half-time goes, so just a good defensive set here now should see them safely in with a good lead.
Yes, 14-2 it stands at the moment, courtesy of the tries to Blackmore and Sheridan and the Harris penalty. Harris, of course, 2 conversions. A good defence there as they win the scrum. Lee Penny just moving the ball up the middle of the field, but he's tackle on his own 20-metre line by the dynamic duo, Leary and Farrell. We've done some work this afternoon in that Leeds defence, and Flaherty's in again there on number 15, Danny Nutley. Wainwright. Wrapped up Mike Wainwright, and he's lost the ball in the tackle, and play on, says the referee. It did come out as he hit the floor, and Leeds a chance with Adrian Morley as Morley powers his way forward, still stepping out of tackles and still going. He's a tremendous player. Up to the 20-metre mark now. Newton in at dummy half finds Glanville. Glanville will just let Harris run it in now. Leeds not really settled there, and now they'll get a chance to put some attack into the play. And this time it's Anthony Farrell who drives forward, takes play to within 12 metres of the Warrington line, underneath the post. Newton goes himself from dummy half. Didn't play the ball properly, Anthony Farrell, and that's a bad error in such a bad position.
It certainly was. I mean, they had Warrington under pressure there, but I just feel as though Leeds are playing a bit too lateral at the moment, and you know, just got a tendency playing side to side. I suppose they are missing the forward thrust of a prop forward like Barry McDermott, but I just feel as though they need to straighten their play up a little bit at the moment.
So Warrington get the penalty, the 4th of the game. 4-2 the penalties at the moment, 4-3 the scrums, both in favour of the Wire. The one score that does count is the 14 points to 2, and Leeds good first half as a hooter goes, going in 14 points to 2 to the good. Great first half for the Rhinos. Tries to Blackmore on 7 minutes, Sheridan on 10 minutes, and 2 conversions to Harris made it 12-0, and then a penalty to Harris on 26 minutes, 14-0, and a penalty to Briers on the 37 minutes, giving Warrington their only points. Dean Bell, good first half for Leeds.
Yes, yeah, I think Graham Murray will be fairly happy. I think he'll just want to brush up on some unforced errors, and I think if they can eradicate those, they can only get better. But they certainly have been well in control of this game, as I said before, both in attack and defence, and a good professional first half performance.
Would probably only need 1 try from Warrington to completely change the complexion of the game. It's down to Leeds really to control the first 10 minutes, and I think as the game goes on they should get stronger and stronger.
Well, Leeds, Adam Doyle just finding Nutley, and drags up to the 20 metres. That's always a good yardstick of how well the kick is and how well it's run out if they get up to the 20 metres. And Warrington have done that. Jason Roach just taking play on in the middle of the field, coming in looking to take some work off the forwards even early as we start the second half.
Again, another big hit just to introduce himself. That's Darren Fleary.
Yes, been impressed with Darren today. Oh, that's good driving. That's tremendous driving with 3 Leeds men round him there from someone in the middle of the field.
Danny Nutley.
Yes, Danny Nutley.
Squat Aussie who used his weight there to power his legs forward, and Farah takes the ball into the Leeds half.
On the last tackle, so Warrington will look to kick. Briers in position. In fact, it's given to Adam Doyle. She pubs a little one over the top. That's a good kick because that's going to make Leeds work down in their own quarter. Justin Harris will have to take the tackle on the 10 metre mark. So Gordon's quickly in at dummy half to find Cummins. Cummins running across the face of his own post, looking for a way through. Does well there, gets an extra couple of metres as he arcs through. Blackmore now. That's good, straight, direct running. Blackmore. It's left to Brendan Tutor to bring him down, but he's made a good 15 metres there. 20 metres as Sterling carries on up the middle of the field. It's within 8 metres of the halfway line. It's Glanville then, takes the ball, difficult ball, takes it well, and takes the tackle. That's 4 tackles gone on, Leeds are up to halfway. That's good driving straight away from the kick. Blackmore's kick is for Cummins to chase. Penny will chase it. Roach is in the way of Francis Cummins. Penny will pick the ball up, and Roach again.
Ken Roach, deliberate obstruction. He didn't exactly pull Cummins out of the way, but deliberately running in front of him, and that was something that Mark Forster was doing as well on Paul Sterling in the first half. If they're not careful, they're watching the man, somebody else could come through and take the ball.
Forster then. Proved last year when he caught Marvin Golden, he's no slouch, even at his advancing years. Oh, and a good ball there. There's put Warrington away down the far side. Harris is coming across. Oh, and they've missed the tackle. Leeds have missed the tackle. That's going to be a try to Warrington. Poor play there from Leeds. I've allowed Eager to get in for the try, and he's going in right, bringing the angle round. Poor play from Leeds, Dean, there.
Yeah, that was very poor. There was absolutely nothing on. Then they had a long ball out. Paul Sterling was too far back on his wing. He should have come in and spotted the man.
Yestin Harris badly injured as well in that challenge, just breaking off there.
Yes, Yestin's still... He's in a lot of agony there on the 10-yard line. He tried to make the tackle. Something must have happened. It looks like he might have twisted his knee or something. Yes, he's in a lot of difficulty at the moment.
So Leeds, from the bright opening when they put Warrington under pressure, suddenly let Warrington score a 60-metre try. Signal for the stretcher for Yestin Harris, so that's absolute disaster for Leeds, both from conceding the points and also from the fact that it looks like we're going to use Yestin for the rest of the game. And Marcus St-Hilaire will come on to play. Looking at Leeds, have got somebody who can slot in at full-back. But that's disaster for Leeds, and certainly to concede the try as well. It was poor play there. Leeds got in all sorts of 6s and 7s. And Yestin in some agony out on the field.
He's saying that a try could change the complexion of the game, but a serious injury to Yestin Harris could change the complexion of Leeds this season.
Good indeed. Harris is looking to get on the stretcher. He's sat up now as Byers puts the kick in. Successful, so it's conversion by Byers. Leeds 14, Warrington 8. And only 2 minutes gone of this second half. So the stretcher will, in fact, Yestin doesn't need the stretcher. He's been lifted off, but it looks very much like a knee injury there, Dean, and could be a while before we see Yestin again.
Well, I mean, you don't want to jump the gun and before we find out exactly what is wrong, but it certainly doesn't look good at the moment. He was in a lot of agony and a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort down there on the ground, and he can't walk off by himself at the moment, having to be carried off. So it's doesn't look well for Yestin at the moment.
Yes, and Yestin's been taken straight to the dressing rooms in some discomfort. So Leeds have a lot to do now. They're still got that 6-point cushion, but Warrington will have taken renewed heart from that. They've really not been in the game, and Leeds have let them back in with some poor defence, and have lost their main spearhead and weapon in Yestin Harris as well. So Flaherty now driving forward. Could all go wrong even from 14-0 up. We've seen that happen before. Jamie Matthew in straight running now. And Leeds have missed Martin Marcella since he's gone off with a straight driving forward. And Morley just ploughing into the Warrington half of the field, but it's on the last tackle now as Kemp has the ball in his hands. Just ways up, puts a high bomb up. Cummins is chasing. Leeds offside, and Cummins was warned that he was offside and obviously didn't hear the referee there. It's fair decision, Dean.
Yes, I watched Franny very closely there. He was about 1.5 yards offside, so you know he's got nobody to blame except himself.
That's the first penalty of the second half, and the penalties in the first half went 4-2 to Warrington, and the scrums 4-3 also to the Wolves. We'll go down and talk to Bob Pickles. Bob, disaster for Leeds there.
Yeah, after just making a big break by Blackmore, then it was just sheer bad tackling, wasn't it, on the first attempt, and on the second attempt the 3 men got in the way, and unfortunately they've got a time to come away with an injured man.
So it's Warrington driving the ball forward now with Brendan Tutor. Takes play up to halfway. Leeds looking to close Warrington down. Wainwright just proves that at this level you can't afford really to miss even one tackle, because didn't play the ball correctly then. The Warrington man just rolled it through his legs. The referee gave the benefit, could have been considered conceived to be interfering. Leeds play the ball, and Leeds have knocked their man down. Adam Doyle, good play from Newton and Godden. And again McCurry just looking to twist and turn in the tackle. So Leeds have got a problem here. They've got to take the kick as it comes in. It's a little grubber kick, it's straight at Francis Cummins. And Cummins with a little bit of space to work in, runs across the face of his post, brought down, great defence, Lee Briers, and a flop coming in there, and Kemp going bananas over that, and a little bit late there, Dean.
Yeah, it certainly was, and I think we heard it all from the crowd there, but referee's been fairly lenient on Warrington today. They've gone on there, and as in the game of the against St Helens early in the season. There's been a lot of interference around the play ball. Just as I talk now, they've just been penalised for it.
So Leeds then looking to put the ball out on the full. Tony Kemp. This could be a little spurt that Leeds need, because they really need to get back up the Warrington end of the ground and look to score some tries. And Jamie Matthew beats the first man and gets a good ball away to Terry Newton. Newton finding Fleary. Fleary runs into Lee Penny, but not before he's made a good 5 or 6 metres, which takes Leeds into the Warrington half of the field. And Warrington all offside, man and ball, every one of them offside. And Fadel busts through the tackles, and Lee Penny comes across. He's had proved a reliable last line of defence at times this afternoon, Lee Penny. He's been exposed at times. Glanville finds Sheridan. Sheridan finds Fadel. Fadel not really expecting the ball, was stood still. And Warrington are easily able to wrap him up. So, 3 tackles gone and Holroyd on, I think, for Terry Newton, which should put Ryan Sheridan, I think, to dummy half. In fact, he has. He's gone to dummy half now. Holroyd then with the football finds Kemp. Looking for the run around again, Holroyd. Long ball out there to Blackmore. Leeds at last opening up there. Blackmore puts the kick in. He's obstructed there. What's going to happen here? Warrington kick the ball dead. And Leeds are going to get a penalty, I think, for that. In fact, what's the referee decided? He's pulled the Warrington player. He really ought to sin him, Dean, for that. Was it could be classed as a try-scoring opportunity. Yeah,
I was actually watching the ball at that time. I don't think Richie would have scored, because the winger or fullback had it covered. But it was fairly late, and obviously the referee's giving him to a talking to at the moment. But just with Graham Holroyd coming on at the moment, I think, you know, that's going to add some impetus to the side at the moment. But also, I think Ryan Sheridan's distribution from the dummy half should give the forwards a little bit of extra yardage.
Right, so
referee placing that incident on report, so obviously not 100% sure what had happened. Leeds deciding whether to settle it down and just go for goal, or whether to take the tap.
I think they're going to take the tap. Holroyd will kick the ball into touch, and we'll kick it backwards to give Leeds a bit more room. Warrington will still be 10 metres back. It was well in there, so Sheridan will tap the football, and Fleary will drive, and good chance for Leeds. And that's Fleary. Fadel now. Sorry, Sheridan finds Matthew via Holroyd. 10 metres underneath the Warrington post. Sheridan again, lovely ball to Kemp. Kemp looking to play the football. St-Hilaire comes into the line and almost knocked on, but did very, very well there. Very impressed with Marcus St-Hilaire in the pre-season games. Stuff come of age as a Leeds player. Poor pass, and Warrington breaking away again there. Not a good ball, and Leeds throwing away the opportunity there of a try. And again, Leeds need to settle it down. The pass wasn't really on, it was slow, and it bounced, and absolutely no chance whatsoever. Warrington didn't play the football again. Their referee's not looking exactly what's going on at times. McKiddy. Oh, on away, great play there. Out to the winger, Roach. Morley's got to get him now. Morley tackles him into touch. The ball rolls into touch. And that's going to be a penalty there to Warrington. Adrian Morley tackling. I think he was committed, Dean.
Oh, I thought it was a bit harsh that. I thought Adrian was in the process of making the tackle as he was kicking the ball.
Well, it's given Warrington a penalty on that 10-metre mark, and they're looking to take it quickly. They've got a massive overlap here if Doyle sees it. Leads in quickly at the tackle, and Doyle took the wrong option there. Farah looking to put men away. Wainwright. Warrington picked the ball up again. 6 more tackles, says the referee. Must have been a hand from Graham Holroyd in there. He was the one who made the tackle and the follow-up. Wainwright again, just running across the field, looking for ways through. Finds McKerry. McKerry puts the hammer down now. Good defence though from Leeds, from Ryan Sheridan. And from Darren Fleary. Warrington look to move the ball again. Wainwright's heavily involved. Corey Love. And they're trying a goal and bring Warrington level. That's number 10, Gary Chambers. He's taking play into the Leeds 20-metre mark. Warrington back up there, and Tuta moves the ball away to Briers. Briers long ball out there. That's a very poor ball. That's going to roll into touch.
Pressure off there with that. Warrington getting on a roll, and Leeds will take that bit of respite, settle down, get the players in their new positions, and really Leeds did well to scramble that one away.
Well, Liston Harris sitting on the bench for Leeds, Dean, so that's...
yeah, if I can just break in on that, I just spoke to the doctor and he said he's twisted his knee, so we'll just see how it goes, the doctor said.
Thanks, Bob. It's Bob Pickles on the Leeds bench, and Leeds making a substitution. Black gamble coming off from Daryl Powell.
That's right. March just looked a little bit tired in the last couple of minutes. So, you know, he is a player with a terrific work rate. So, it's an ideal situation for Daryl Powell to come on.
Holroyd works the feed at the scrum, finds Kemp. Kemp running forward, looks to take men on. Can't do that. That's Leeds get the ball out of the scrum. Daryl Powell first touch of the football in a competitive game for the Rhinos. Morley. The Leeds, who were still in at 14-0, suddenly find themselves at 14-8 and looking to now get the impetus. That's great running from back Ryan Sheridan from dummy half. Spots a gap there and he's away. All right, finds Kemp immediately with the pass. Blackmore pushed out towards the touchline side. The ball comes back now through the arms of Kemp. The crowd 9,800 here this afternoon. Penny's knocked on. Gordon has it for Leeds. That's good play from Leeds. 9,800 here as Powell's knocked off the ball. Driving forward. Paul Sterling it was. Low down Leeds trying to go for the line with Jamie Matthews. So the Rhinos need to move the ball out to the right now. And it needs to be good passing as well. Kemp will knock that ball backwards. Not really what Leeds wanted, but it's put Morley away now into the 20 metres. A knock on there, and that's ridiculous play there. What did you think of that, Dean? Looked a harsh decision.
Oh no, there's a lot of mauling in the play the ball at the moment, and the referee is his concentration is very poor in this area. Even when Warrington got the ball, they've got a tendency, a lot of their players, just to place the ball on the ground as they get up, and obviously, you know, that is against the laws of the game at the moment. But you know, I think Leeds, they've just got to settle down a little bit. They're getting them try-scoring positions, but you know, just some simple errors in there. Some of their passing is just letting them down.
Yes, and Morley losing the ball, furious there with Brendan Tutor, who we thought had interfered at the play of the ball.
And any team coached by Darryl van der Velde will know all the tricks of the trade, and to be fair, you play to the referee, and if he isn't up with the play or up with the ball, then whatever you can get away with you do, and Brendan Tutor knows that better than most, I think.
Fadder from dummy half works to bring Tutor in. Tutor, good defence from Darren Fleary. I'm very impressed with, in fact it was Anthony Farrell that time. I was going to say I've been impressed with Darren Fleary. I have been impressed with Darren Fleary, but not that time. And Blackmore just tackling Egan on the far side, and Warrington up to the last tackle. Again, not the best play of the ball you've ever seen, but it gives Breyers enough room to find Marcus Cinderlair with the kick on his own 20-metre mark. 10 metres in from touch, he brings the ball back in now, looks to go up the middle of the field. Warrington again, this time it's McCurry. Hands all over, Holroyd finding Gordon. Tidy start to his Leeds career from Brad Gordon, Dean?
Yes, he hasn't done too much wrong. He's been caught out of position a couple of times when they've come down here, but I suppose he's just getting used to the English game, and obviously the more games he gets out of the bout, the better he'll be.
That's a player who's plenty of experience with the Knights and the Hunter Mariners, so it's a good sign, Dean.
Oh, there must be a chaplain in the change rooms or a priest or something, because I just can't believe he's out there walking, let alone running.
Yes, good to see. And Holroyd then looking to put the goal over, and I'm sure that's a sensible option. It's certainly within Graham Holroyd's kicking capabilities. And Holroyd looking to open his account for the season. He's already the 7th highest point scorer in the history of the Leeds club. And for one so young, that's a big achievement. He could go on, if he continues in the form he's been in, gets himself a regular first-team spot, he could go on to rewrite all the record books as far as the Leeds club are concerned. Anyway, here he has his first chance to put some points on the board for this season. Hoist that down, up straight away, that's through the middle. So a good kick there from Holroyd.
Important kick because it gives Leeds a bit of breathing space. It's 2 scores now for Warrington and 10 minutes of controlling the ball, and that hopefully will put Leeds well and truly back in the driving seat.
Yeah, that was a very important kick there from Holly, and it's just 2 points they need at the moment. Hopefully that'll settle their game down.
That's the 4th Leeds goal of the afternoon to go with the 2 tries. They've been playing about 15 minutes of this second half, and that's important. It means Warrington have to score twice to win the game. And now Leeds could do with a really good set of 6 up here in that. Keep Warrington well down in that quarter. Good defence from Morley. And anyone watching the game this afternoon can't be failed to be impressed with the way Adrian Morley started the season. McCurry.
And he has made a difference to Warrington since he came on, Steve McCurry, but he'll have felt that tackle from Farrell and Fleary.
He certainly increased the weight of the Warrington pack, that's for sure. I've never seen anybody with legs as fat as that since Big Stuart Evans played for St Helens.
Could do with stretching by about a foot.
Yes, he was suddenly ballooned up. I remember him playing for England against Fiji, not missing any action. Warrington just playing out the tackles. That's bounced just in the field of play. Cummins is saying it hit the touchline. I think he was trying it on there, Dean. It just bounced probably an inch inside.
Yeah, there wasn't much in that. He was very fortunate to get out of that, but I'll get away with that. But he only made 30 metres, so again, you know, the Leeds feed here, they should get the ball in good field position. So hopefully they can work towards something. And I just noticed that sort of Graham Holroyd is coming into play a little bit more now, and obviously and that's when he's at his best, when defences are getting a little bit tired. So hopefully we'll see some of his magic.
Yes, we saw it at Halifax. 2 tries in the pre-season game. Leeds work the feed. Gordon just coming on, making the inside centre, taking the ball. And Powell just drives forward up to halfway. That's good driving from Daryl Powell. Blackmore again. Big game from Richie Blackmore this afternoon. And he's made the proverbial 10 metres, which is what you can expect these days. And the man such as him runs. Kemp spots the gap, goes himself. Lovely ball arcing round there, Holroyd. Can't take, he just had to juggle with it there and probably stop the impetus, but it was a lovely play from Kemp. And again, Kemp's involved here now. Just inside ball for Fleary. And Fleary will take the tackle. Up to the last tackle now, so what will Leeds do? Holroyd's got the ball, he's got Blackmore a long way outside him. He runs at the angle now, looks to put the crossfield kick in. Sterling's chasing, everyone's on side, says the referee. Blackmore picks up, is that going to be a try? No, he's going to disallow it for the knock-on. And saying that Sterling knocked the ball forward.
No, I couldn't see what was wrong with that. I think, you know, the Warrington player, I think it was Forster, went for the ball. He knocked the ball forward and Richie Blackmore come and picked it up, and it should have been a try.
Yes, couldn't see anything wrong with that myself. That's how I read it exactly, and it's disappointing as far as Leeds are concerned.
That's twice that it's caused problems down that side, and Leeds look to have come up with a try. First one looked as though maybe there had been a knock-on before Glanville scored. That looked perfectly good from where we are. And Warrington
has knocked the ball, and would you believe it? The referee said it's gone backwards. Would you believe it? Right underneath his own post.
Yes, I don't think the referee's endearing himself very well to this crowd. At the moment, he's making a few poor decisions, and unfortunately, they're going against Leeds. But, I mean, you get that in games. Leeds have just got to hang in there, and I noticed that they're playing with a lot more enthusiasm at the moment, and I think Daryl Powell's got a lot to do with it, the way he's come on.
Yes, he's having a big game, Daryl Powell, and Warrington 10 metres from their own line, kicking. Pick the ball up, Brad Godden. Brad Godden, in fact, it's Ryan Sheridan. He's in for a try in the corner, that's a try. Warrington lost the ball. Adam Doyle under a lot of pressure there, Warrington, in the on the 6th tackle. Adam Doyle lost the football, Godden kicked on, Sheridan picked up and a try in the corner. Yes,
an opportunist try there from Ryan Sheridan. Picked up a loose ball, he was the first one to react, but Darryl Vandervelde will be very disappointed. It was just a simple drop pass, and Leeds were the first ones to react to it, so good on them.
Yes, it was a great defence from Leeds there, and Leeds kept Warrington to within 10 metres of their own line on that set of 6. They'd already dropped the ball once when McCurry was deemed to have dropped it behind him, despite the fact that he lost the ball between his legs. And then, of course, when Adam Doyle put the ball down, a man that Graham Murray said to watch, we've watched him this afternoon, and that's his second mistake.
Some measure of justice there for Leeds. Should have had a try in the into making a double substitution, possibly their last throw of the dice with maybe, 17 minutes to go.
As it looks like it, Bob. Good try for Leeds, and everyone happy down there.
Well, yeah, it certainly gives a bit of breathing space now. But when you look at the way he picked himself up from the floor and just scrambled away into the corner, that's terrific leg power there. I thought he did really well, the boy there.
Yes, he worked really well.
That's right, I agree with Bob there, because as he picked the ball up, he had to stoop very low, obviously, and he was stumbling all the way to the line. But as Bob mentioned, his leg power sort of kept him on his feet, and a terrific try in the corner.
Holroyd then. Just bobs that one across the face of the post. That's not going anywhere. He was put off, I think, there by McCurry. The little battle lad is now coming off with Brendan Tutor.
You won't be meeting him in the press conference afterwards, then?
Certainly not. But he's coming off now, and I thought he'd had a a major influence on the game, but he doesn't look. But he's never looked fit since he played for England against Fiji at Wigan.
Yeah, and Sheffield actually had their first option to sign him before Warrington took him up, and they decided his fitness levels didn't warrant. Has the referee here given Leeds offside at the kickoff, or has he just decided he needs an extra break while the teams line up properly? Strange decision.
Yeah, I think only the referee knows what went on then. For some reason, he's pulled them back. Whether the linesmen or the touch judges were ready for the kickoff, I don't know.
Oh, kicks. In touch there, great kickoff from Graham Holroyd. Finds touch. 5 metres from the Warrington line, 10 metres scrum. That's a good play there from Holroyd, and poor play from the Warrington man on that far side. Difficult to see who it is from here, but he let the ball go out thinking it was going out on the full.
Actually, it was a very fortunate kick, because if the Warrington player had 1 foot in touch and caught the ball on the full, obviously it would have been a penalty back at the halfway, so Leeds were lucky to get away with that.
Yes, well, that's the advantage of having somebody who really knows what the game's about up here in the commentary box.
We've been found out at last.
At last. Yeah. And Warrington then looking to bring the ball away. They obviously got the ball from the scrum, as is the norm now. Farah distributing well.
I think Farah's been quite quiet today from what we've seen in his days at Penrith.
Yes, not exactly set the world on fire, just good work rate. And here he is again, moving the ball out for Bryers to put the kick in. Bryers tries to split Cummins, and St-Hilaire can't do that. And Francis Cummins certainly looking more at home on the wing, I think, Phil, than he did in the centres of Halifax.
Yeah, it's good to see him in the team now, because with the right confidence behind him, then he is a potential game breaker. And here's another.
Paul Sterling just up the middle of the field, and again General Custard and Lee Penny holding him back. Yeah,
that all come from a great play of the ball by Richie Blackmore, and now Leeds are on attack. Inside ball to Darryl Powell. Is he going to make the line? Yes, a terrific try from Darryl Powell. Inside pass from Tony Kemp, put him away. And that should be the game now for Leeds, and it's been terrific play in the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and they get what they deserve at the moment.
Yes, there was no way Darryl Powell was going to be denied the try there on his debut for Leeds. And that's great play from Leeds, as Dean said. Just 62 minutes on the clock, and Leeds stretching that lead even further.
And didn't Darryl Powell do well there, because the cover was coming across, but he's in and out 2 or 3 times, made sure he got to the line. Very experienced, and as Dean was saying, since he's come on, he's led the defensive line, got them up quickly, and then quite rightly on the end of a lovely inside pass from Tony Kemp after Paul Sterling's initial burst had given Leeds the position. And
yes, I was talking to Darryl during the week, and he has been struggling with a hamstring injury of late, so if anything's going to test it out, I suppose it's a 40-metre sprint to the line. So it seemed to have held up, and good luck to him, because his career has been hampered with injuries, and hopefully now this will be a chance for him to stake a claim for a regular first-team spot.
Yes, Holroyd missed with the kick. 24 points to 8 then, Leeds.
You're listening to Radio Rhino, the Leeds Rhinos matchday radio station, coming to you live from Headingley, the home of heroes, sponsored by Tetley's Bitter.
Holroyd again kicks to that far side. This time it's further in field, and it was taken on the full by Lee Brays, and Warrington running the ball out to the 20-metre mark.
Martin Masella back on for Darren Fleary, got a huge ovation when he came off for the work that he's put in today, and Fleary becoming a bit of a hero with the fans here.
Well, I don't think when he came from Keighley anyone could imagine that he'd make such an impact, Dean. No,
he's an unusual, well, not an unusual player, and that his work rate is quite tremendous. You know, if there's a big hit to be made, he'll make it. If there's someone pushing from the inside, he'll do that as well. And you know, he's not really the game-breaking type, but he's the type of player that every team needs. And you know, him and Mark Glanville go through have a terrific work rate. So you know, if the players with a bit more flair can capitalise on their efforts, I'm sure that Leeds are in for a good season.
Yes, and he really has set the Leeds public have got behind him since he came to Leeds. He was determined to make every chance that of the opportunity he got when he came to Leeds. Of course, he'd never played Super League before. Interception there, but Blackmore chases back and catches Adam Doyle, and Leeds almost spilling the football.
Yeah, there had to be at least 2 or 3 defenders in that tackle there, and the referee allowed him to steal the ball.
Referee was going the wrong way, didn't even see the incident. He's given Warrington a penalty now as well. He's not keeping up with the pace of the game, that's for sure.
No, the referee's report will say that, and I'm sure there's a referee's assessor here who's saying that he hasn't, and he's given that somebody's put their elbow down there. And,
funnily enough, the penalty count I've got is 7-all, so on paper it looks like he's been even-handed, but it doesn't seem that way.
yeah, fair comment. But it's the position that he's given Warrington the penalties in, and some of the decisions have been difficult to understand. And Leeds will want to keep Warrington penned out. It's 24-8, it's a fair reflection of the game. 24-12 wouldn't be quite so. Breyer switching the play inside there for 15. Danny Nutley, but he can't get the ball. That's out on the far side. And Blackmore, never a chance of anyone getting past Richie Blackmore from a standing start there. And Blackmore did well to knock him down. Byers again. Just to find Wainwright. Wainwright's well wrapped up though. Two Leeds men in, Morley and Anthony Farrell again, another player with a tremendous appetite for work. A little grubber kick comes in at the corner. Cummins takes it. He's pushed over the goal by Roach. In fact, the referees allowed him to come back into the field of play and play the ball, which was the right decision, but again, a strange one. It's not usual. If he's over the line, he's either over or it's a penalty. And Masella just drives the ball forward. And Warrington sort of got themselves fired up in the last few minutes, a bit late now. But they're certainly going in with a bit of venom at the moment.
Yeah, I think Warrington realises the last throw of the dice for them, so they've got to try and pull something out of the fire. But a terrific long kick there from Graham Holroyd has put Leeds back deep in Warrington's area, and at the moment the chase hasn't been so hot from Leeds, and they've come right back up over halfway. So not a good chase there from Leeds, but a good kick.
Yes, and the initial tackle was made, but Penny was allowed to get the ball out of the tackle, and a man was in support, and Leeds was struggling for bodies. Wainwright now puts Adam Fogarty through a gap. Masella chasing him there. That's out to Jason Roach. Great play from Francis Cummins. He's in touch as well. Good tackle in there from Cummins and Sunderlay, and Jason Roach, no slouch. Good defence team.
That's right. It's a good sign, isn't it, when a prop forward Martin Masella is coming in covering like that, like a halfback. So obviously all the players are working hard for each other, but I think, you know, give credit there to Marcus St. Hilaire coming across in cover, and obviously you know, Franny Cummins done a terrific job in holding onto the centre and then also covering his winger as well.
Yes, Francis Cummins did well there, just to knock Jason Roach into touch. And Jason Roach never really settled at Castleford. He was one of John Joyner's last signings. I think that reflected that Joyner was dispensed with, and the Roach was seen as the last throw of the dice from Joyner. But he scored some big tries at St Helens, particularly at Alliance level. I remember him going the length of the field here to win a very tight game about 5 or 6 years ago. Sheridan then, who's worked well from dummy half, and punch comes in there. The touch judge is saying nothing as usual. Matthew.
If this is frustration from Warrington, and there again seems to be a scrap here between Doyle and Matthew, it's all boiling over. It's just an indication of how perhaps Leeds are controlling the game, and Warrington been spoiling for a fight in the last 5 minutes. Look like they've now got one.
Well, unfortunately that was a high tackle, which the referee was about to let go, I think, and Jamie Matthew obviously didn't like it. It was right across the face. In fact, it was so across the face it was almost on his helmet. And Doyle must be frustrated because he's had the best of game this afternoon. And referee just calling the captains out. I'm sure he's going to place it on report. Oh no, isn't it? Call the touch judge over anyway.
I think it is a testament to the way Leeds have played that Warrington are now getting frustrating. He's going to sin bin both players, I would think, just to cool the situation down. It'll be interesting to see who he gives the penalty to.
Yes, it ought to be to Leeds. It looks like Jamie's going off as well. And that's just spelling the cooler. Probably about, I'd say 10 minutes left, so whether Jamie and Mr. Doyle will get back on remains to be seen. The penalty goes to Leeds, and what's he given the signal for? A fist, not for the head-high tackle. Well, strange decision, Dean.
Yeah, I think so. As it usually happens in a game, the person that retaliates is the one that gets penalised, but I think the referee probably did the right thing by sending both players off just to cool themselves. just Warrington are getting a bit frustrated at the moment, and it's probably too little too late.
Yes, and Morley didn't play the football, and that's because Fogarty was all over him, holding his ankle. So Leeds get another penalty. And Kemp just coming over. I'm sure Kemp will have assumed the captaincy role within with the absence of Justin Harris. And so Sheridan then taps the football. It's a really good option to have Sheridan at the dummy half spot. He's really played well there this afternoon. His hands are so quick and so sure. Oh, and Sonny did ever so well to take the football there. It wasn't the best pass, but he's been pushed into touch, but he's stretching and he took that ball well. So Leeds have spurned that chance.
Yeah, I think it was a set move. It was a planned move. Obviously, I think they were probably too close to the sideline for to do that move they were trying to.
So we'll see the scrum form on the Warrington 10-metre line, 20 metres in. And Warrington now, of course, with their backs to the pavilion. As Briers works the ball away. 24 points to 8 then the Rhinos have it here at Headingley in this opening game of the Super League before 9,800 spectators.
And I think that's the kind of start that everybody associated with the club will be quite pleased with, both on and off the pitch. Gives very good foundations on which to build at Bradford next week.
Oh, and Paul Sterling's picked up a loose ball and over on the far side. And tackle Leeds moving the football now. It was a poor pass, poor option from Rhinos, and the referee looked like he was going to blow for a high tackle, and Morley decided against it and just shook his head. Farrell puts the football down, and it's becoming a little bit of one of those sort of games. Warrington will play on with Wainwright.
Yeah, that was a poor effort from Farrell. He never looked like he wanted to catch that pass. He just sort of put one arm out, and he's probably getting a bit tired. You know, he has played most of the game, and I think if there are any fit substitutes, that Graham might be ready to use them.
Yes, he's had a big game, as he usually does, but it does start to tell at this stage of the game.
I think he can make one more change.
Yes. Briers looking to go himself and finally throws the ball away.
Very nearly passed to himself.
Yes, he looked almost of the Paul Daniel sleight of hand magic there, but it was going nowhere. The ball was all over the place. Reminded me of Ray Batten in his A-day.
Only there was no Bob Haig outside him.
That's right. Oh, that's got to be interference there from Mike Wainwright. Still in an offside position, and Ryan Sheridan couldn't get the pass away from him.
Again, the penalty count now up to 10-7.
Tetley's man of the match. And Morley gets the man of the match. And
pretty easy choice.
I could argue with that, Dean.
Yes, that's right. I think he won it in the first 40 minutes, and obviously he's been a little bit quieter, but you know, such was his work rate in the first half. I suppose that was always going to be the case, but certainly a class player, and you know, a fit Adrian Morley. You know, Leeds can go places.
Yes, indeed they can, and they're certainly going to win this game this afternoon. As Allroyd comes around, looks to arc through himself there. Graham Allroyd still going close to the line, strong as well. He's improved his strength tremendously, Graham Allroyd. It got him 2 tries at Halifax and nearly brought him another one there. Darryl Powell just tried to go from dummy half. Still forcing his way. He's about a metre short as he's brought down. Sheridan's in at dummy half. Allroyd just feeling the effects of the tackle. Kemp throws the ball back again. That was a planned move, which Marcus St. Hilaire's not quite picked up on the Leeds planned moves this afternoon. So a couple of times he's been not quite in the right place. I'm sure if Yestin is still there on the field, that some of them would have come off. Kick goes in for the corner. Not a good kick though from Holroyd, but it couldn't have made a good kick by the chase. So you always say kick is as good as the chase. Great kick then, Dean.
Yeah, I thought it was a good kick actually. Just, you know, he put it in behind the defensive line, just on the inside of the winger, so he couldn't really come forward with the ball. So, you know, that's just what they want. And I think Warrington looking very tired at the moment. They looked very disillusioned. Their heads are down at the moment. So hopefully, you know, we can get a score out of this set of 6.
Yes, it would be nice. 24-8. There's still must be 5 minutes left for play, so Leeds have plenty of opportunity. It's Anthony Farrell that picks the ball up on the touchline side and just knocks the ball down. Really ran with some commitment when he got into his stride there.
Be nice for Leeds to finish with a flourish for the fans that have turned up. Perhaps get the score up to 30 if they can. That might send out a message.
Yes, it's a good 9,800. I think we'd have all settled for that at the start of the game. Marcella, he's had a big game in the 2 spells he's been on. He looks a good player. And again, the move not quite coming off there is Marcus St. Hilaire. but he's done well since he came on. Morley going for the line himself. That was a great try from a great player.
Yes, just he's got what he deserved, Adrian Morley. Took the ball from dummy half. He was about 10 metres out. He beat 3 on his way to the line. A couple of them got their hands to him, but just too strong, too powerful.
Again, untidy play the ball because Lee Brays was in the way, but he left the gap. Adrian Morley, a couple of shimmies of his hips, and if anybody deserved a try, it was him. Due reward for a fantastic afternoon's effort by the Great Britain second rower.
Oh, Bob Pickles, you first spotted Adrian Morley playing for Eccles many moons ago. He must be absolutely delighted with the way that he's kicked on.
Oh, certainly am. He's going to be one of the all-time greats if he keeps this up, without a doubt. I mean, did you see them little side steps? Then it was like a little half-back. Terrific stuff.
And Allroyd just bobs the kick over. So Graham Allroyd 2 from 4. Opened his account 50% for this season. But I think if we won Achilles heel to Adrian Morley's game, Dean, he doesn't score enough tries, but I'm sure that will come.
Oh yes, I mean, you know, there were a lot of rough edges to Adrian's game, but you know, slowly but surely, you know, he's becoming the complete footballer, and just the way he's played today, you know, it does bode well for the future. And as Bob said, you know, he's got the potential to be one of the all-time greats. He's just got to, you know, keep a wise head on his shoulders, and I'm sure, you know, that'll be the case.
Yes, and
looks like he's benefited from the off-season as well. He played a lot of rugby in the having gone on tour in the end of the last Super League season, and he looks refreshed, revitalised, and an absolute giant.
Well, that's right, and a lot of credit must go to Edgar Curtis, the fitness trainer here at Headingley. You know, he's done terrific work, not only with the first team, but also with the academy. I think anybody who turned up here today would have seen the difference in the size of the players, and obviously it's not just about strength, but it certainly goes a long way.
Yes, it does. And number 14 coming in there off his wing, Toakoi Love, who, if anything, looks to be a smaller player than I seem to remember him, but it's not long since he really played. Don't remember too much about him. Kick from Briers is well taken over there by Marcus Sinclair over his own line, and Briers complaining that he'd actually jumped in, and he might have a point.
Yeah, I think he was right, actually. I think Marcus was standing just a few inches over his own try line, but he took the ball and they forced him back into the in-goal area. So, yeah, it's one of those decisions that can go either way.
Yes, and Brad Godden just drives the ball forward, and it's all about what will happen in the last couple of minutes now. I'm sure Leeds will just look to not do anything stupid. We don't want anyone sending off. We don't want anyone giving a silly pass away, and you wouldn't really want anyone better than Daryl Powell on the field at this stage of the game, because he's seen it all, done it all over a number of years, and Mr. Professional. Allroyd then looks to find Kemp. Kemp's ball is a quick one for Blackmore. That's great play. And Blackmore for Sterling. Sterling up the far touchline side. Sterling's away. Someone's inside. Sterling's going for the corner. Gets the ball in field. It's a forward pass, and really Sterling should have given it well before that.
That's right. You know, I think Sterling had seen the try line, and really there was three supporting players on the inside, and it should have been a try.
Yes, and if Leeds don't make the 5 by 3 points at the end of the season, that could well be the 3 of them there, because that should have been a try to Graham Allroyd.
Well, that's right. I mean, you know, the Leeds are going to do things this year. They've just got to put away chances like that. And, you know, that's what the good sides do. But, you know, it's something to work on. And I'm sure Graham would be fairly pleased with the result he's got today.
Yeah, Graham is very... we were talking before on the radio, Rhino, about it, that Graham is very impressive in the dressing room at the half-time with no notes. He picks out little pointers of everyone's game that he's remembered from the half and things like that. And I'm sure he won't forget that from Paul Sterling.
Yeah, that's right. Well, there goes the final whistle. A very good win today for the Leeds Rhinos. It's just the result they needed. You know, a terrific crowd turned up here today. Great atmosphere, and they're showing their appreciation right at the moment.
OK, well, that was Dean Bell. He'll be with us throughout the season on Radio Rhino. Thanks for listening today. We'll be on the air until 6 o'clock. I'll just run through the second half scorers. Leeds led 14-2 at half-time, and then a try to Warrington from Eager with conversion by Briers, which looked very costly for Leeds at the time. It put Warrington back in the game. More importantly, it put Yestin Harris carried off. But Yestin, thankfully, OK. A Graham Allroyd penalty made it 16-8 on 55 minutes. That settled play down before Sheridan, Powell and Morley scored tries, with only converted one of them to make it 30 points to 8. So a good start to the Super League for Leeds. It's all on for Odsal Stadium next Sunday night when Leeds take on the Bradford Bulls. Leeds 30, Warrington Wolves 18 from the 9,800 spectators.
Hi, this is Adrian Marley. You're listening.
Yes, and what a great start for the Leeds Rhinos. A victory in the opening game of the 1998 Super League season against your old club, the Warrington Wolves. How satisfying is this one for the lads?
Yeah, it's a good result for us. You know, we set our stall out to take the bad result against Castleford out on Warrington, and we've done that. You know, we've come out convincing winners, and we're looking forward to our next game now.
Yeah, great performance. When you look at the conditions out here today, inclement conditions, the weather was pretty appalling throughout the game, but we stuck to our task throughout.
Yeah, we kept it very tight, and I thought that's what we intended to do before the game. You know, keep it tight, keep playing our support play, and we did it very well. You know, we went a little bit to pot with 10 minutes before half time, but you know, we got ourselves together and we come up with a victory.
So overall, what pleased you most about the performance?
Just our ball security. You know, I thought we secured the ball very well, and we kept it tight when we needed to, and then when we needed to go wide, we had the ability to go wide, and overall it was a great result for us.
Let's just talk about the injury. It occurred when Warrington scored that try from Michael Eagle. What has actually happened?
Oh, it's Paul Sterling actually clashed into my knee, and you know, I've just injured a little ligament above my knee. It's nothing too drastic, but it's not as bad as I thought it was originally.
It all goes well for next Sunday against the Bradford Bulls, a big game for the Rhinos, local derby at Odsal.
Yeah, you know, we've always last season we always come out second best against them, and you know, next week hopefully we can go there with a full squad and hopefully get a good victory against them.
At this early stage, you feel you'll be fit for the game?
I'll have to see Monday, Tuesday, but hopefully I'm looking forward to being fit for next week. I'll just see how I react to physio in the early stages of this week.
Well done, Yasin. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Danny.
Thank you.